up in Singapore as an Indian kid, it's nice, but it's not that normal compared to being part of India, I would say. But coming here makes me feel like I'm home. Always, both my grandparents, my late grandparents, they passed away a few years back, and then it's kind of sad because I'm playing in India and they are not here. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be here, and I hope they are proud of me in terms of me coming here and playing football. I watch both Tamil movies and Hindi movies. So I think in Bollywood, I would say my favorite actor is Shah Rukh Khan, and for Tamil actors, my favorite is Vijay Thalapathy. So I grew up watching movies with my sister, my mom and dad, and some of my Malay friends back home in Singapore. Apparently, the Hindi Bollywood movies are quite famous in Singapore as well. So it's kind of nice to be part of, I would say the Bollywood place, the birthplace of Bollywood, which is India. So it's kind of nice to be here.
And any movie you can watch any number of
Rap
times.
Ni Bana Di Jodi.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that I watched in cinema, I think 6 times alone. So my mom thinks I'm crazy, but it's Shah Rukh Khan. So yeah.
So Iqbal, coming to just we'll have a chat about your season here, your background in Singapore, and how you're finding the Hero I League. So Iqbal, so far in the matches you have played, what are your thoughts on the level of football in the Hero I League, and what is the competition like? What do you feel?
I think the I League is quite aggressive. Yeah, it's quite high in terms of intensity. The players are physically strong, fast, and yeah, compared to back in Singapore, I would say it's much more difficult to play here. And I'm quite happy that I can adapt to this kind of football as well. Not only back in Singapore, but now I'm here in India. So yeah, I think India has a good future in terms of football. So
And how are you finding the adapting process yourself? Like you said, more physical. So how are you changing your game?
I mean, I came here well prepared in terms physically and mentally as well. I mean, I played in high intensity football as well in the national team as well. We played against good opponents, example Japan and some more countries. So coming here, I know it's not that easy, but I need to be well prepared in terms of where I'm coming from and where I'm going in terms of football as well. So yeah, I'm doing well here. I'm having a good time here as well. I always dream of coming to India since I was a kid. So here I am playing football in India. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. And what made you sign for Chennai City FC and decide to play football in India? Why did you make the switch?
I think I got a call from coach Satya. So he told me, I think back last year in October or November. So he called me and said, Iqbal, do you want to play in India? And I said, yeah, I don't mind. Then he said, we want to sign you for Chennai City. Then I'm like, because one of the my teammate in Singapore was also playing for Chennai City FC. His name is Joseph Kaplan. He was one of the foreigners in the team. So he won the league in 2000. I think 18 or 19, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I spoke to him. He said it's a good club here. The manager, the management, and all that. It's all good. So yeah, I think quite happy to be here. Coach Sajja is the main reason that I'm here as well. So yeah, I played with him. I trained under him. He was my coach back then in when I was 15, 16 years old. At the same time in the national team, and I played for 2 Singapore clubs in Singapore, and he was the coach as well. So it's kind of nice that the coach believes in you in terms of your talent and your quality. So yeah, it makes me more easier in terms of playing football here in India. And yeah, I will just give my best for him and as well for Chennai City FC.
That's a great answer, Iqbal. Just coming to your experience on the pitch so far. So how have you found life on the field?
I think in terms of language and everything with my teammates, I have no problem. I am half Indian as well, I would say. So I can understand Hindi and Tamil, so it's easier for me to mix around with the locals compared to some of my foreign teammates. So sometimes I help them translate in English. So and then in terms of football, it's easy when you know how to play the game. I would say if you know a lot of tactics and for my case, I know how Coach Satya's works before, so it's easy for me to adapt compared to some of the foreigners. But it takes time, everything takes time, and yeah, I'm just enjoying my time here and just want to do well for the team as well. So,
That's great. Like you mentioned, your bonding with the teammates, your communication. So off the field, in your hotel rooms, when you have time to kill, what do you like to do? How do you gel around with them?
for me, my roommate is Demir, so we spend a lot of time talking, discussing our experience in terms of football. And as for the local players, I like to go to certain rooms and ask them certain questions so that I can learn a bit more, get more better in terms of my Tamil and Hindi, and yeah, just gel with the team, having good bonding session in terms of listening to Hindi music or Tamil music. They introduced me a new movie from Chennai. Is it what? Master? I think it's Master from Vijay Thalapathy. So
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite actors as well. So we gather in the room like 3-4 players, and then we just watch the movie and just have a good time. And yeah, that's it.
That's great. So you were already, like you mentioned, you're half Indian. So could you just tell us your heritage from India and what's your connection to India?
Okay, I think my grandfather is from India. He's from Kodaikanal, if I'm not wrong. It's in Tamil Nadu. So yeah, I mean, my dad, he speaks Malay and understands Tamil. He can't speak Tamil fluently, but he understands it. So yeah, I mean, growing up in Singapore as an Indian kid, it's nice, but it's not that normal compared to being part of India, I would say. But coming here makes me feel like I'm home. Both my grandparents, my late grandparents, they passed away a few years back, and then it's kind of sad because I'm playing in India and they are not here. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be here, and I hope they are proud of me in terms of me coming here and playing football. So yeah.
Especially you having a connection must make you. It must have been a factor when you wanted to sign for Chennai City.
Correct, yeah. Knowing that it's India, I always want to come here. So what would be great to play football in India. So yeah, that's the best.
That's great. And you spent a little time in Chennai and Tamil Nadu.
I think we didn't have enough time to spend in Chennai because we have trainings back to back, and then the schedule was quite tight. But at the same time, it's kind of nice. I get to ride an auto. It's a taxi, or if I'm not wrong, it's a taxi. I consider a cab in India. So I always watching movies. So to be finally get into an auto, it means like some good moments of India for me.
Absolutely. And I've heard that you're a big fan of Bollywood movies, like you mentioned as well too. So who are your favorites?
I mean, I watch both Tamil movies and Hindi movies. So I think in Bollywood, I would say my favorite actor is Shah Rukh Khan, and for the Tamil actors, my favorite is Vijay Thalapathy. So I grew up watching movies with my sister, my mom and dad, and some of my Malay friends back home in Singapore. Apparently, the Hindi Bollywood movies are quite famous in Singapore as well. So it's kind of nice to be part of, I would say the Bollywood place, the birthplace of Bollywood, which is India. So it's kind of nice to be.
And any movie you can watch any number of times.
Rapni Bana Di Jodi. Yeah, that I watched in cinema, I think 6 times alone. So my mom thinks I'm crazy, but it's Shah Rukh Khan. So yeah.
And could you just tell us a little bit more about your upbringing in Singapore? How did you venture into football? And
I think I played football when I was in primary school. So my dad didn't know that I can play football. So yeah, so he came to one of my school trials and he was shocked that I can play football, and I was a captain back then in school. So yeah, then eventually as I grew older, I became more passionate about the game. And yeah, I just keep on working hard. I train alone sometimes. Most of my friends all are schooling, and also sometimes I just go to a nearby park and just kick a ball by myself. And yeah, and I don't know, maybe in terms of what God gave me in terms of my talent, I just make the use of it. I believe that I have something worth living for in terms of football. So yeah, so here I am.
it's a great outlook. And just your experience for the Singapore national team as well. Of course, it's a big thing to have played for a senior national team. So what do you learn from it, and how has your experience been playing football in Singapore?
I think it's not easy to be part of the national team at a young age. I was there when I was 17, 18 years old, growing up. So a lot of mistakes made in terms of football wise. I learned from it. I get advice from my seniors. One of my senior players, which is the captain of Singapore football, his name is Haris Arun. He's also an Indian Muslim player. So he's playing in Malaysia. So he's someone that it's an inspiration to all the Singaporeans boys back home. So yeah, I mean, learning from him, getting a lot of advice from all the seniors, and slowly, make yourself. I would say that I matured through those advices and experience. And yeah, I know one day I won't be a kid anymore, so I have to lead by example as well. So yeah, and being part of the national team is a it's every boy's dream in terms of playing football. So yeah, I'm quite happy and blessed to be able to represent my country, and at the same time still going strong now here in India. So yeah.
That's great. And you talked about captaincy growing up. So you've come and captain Chennai City FC. You won the armband. We've seen you talking and explaining to your teammates and talking to them, giving them confidence. So how was that experience?
I mean, I didn't know that I was supposed to be captain because back then our captain Charles was red card the previous game. So coach told me during the match day that I was the captain. So I was kind of shocked. But it's nothing new to me because at the end of the day, I want to win. I want my team to win, so I'll do whatever it takes to motivate them, to encourage them to win. I don't scold any of my local players in team or my foreigners because I believe scolding won't help. So keep on encouraging and everyone will feel good and they will do good as well. So that's my motto in terms of being captaincy. Not to be harsh, but to be a leader in a way of giving them the extra boost to do well in the game. So yeah.
We've seen you provide a number of assists and crosses. That's a big part of your game naturally. So is that something that you worked on from the start, giving crosses and set pieces?
I would say that in terms of my ability, I would say I try to learn and do as much as I can, be it attackingly or defensively. I work a lot of time. I put a lot of time in terms of my technique and to understand the games even more. In terms, I played all attacking position before, so I know certain plays where you need to do some extra work and all. So yeah, but for me, it doesn't matter if I assist or I score. As long my team win, it's more than enough for me. So yeah.
And the few games left for the first phase to end, and it's a very tight race, like every year. So what are your expectations from the coming games? How do you see them going?
I would say that Chennai City will take one game at a time. We will focus on our strength and work on our weaknesses. And yeah, we don't underestimate any of the teams here, from Indian Arrows to Churchill Brothers. For me, everyone's a good team. It's unpredictable this season. I would say anyone can go up, can step up, and overtake each other. So yeah, I mean for Chennai City, I would say that we will take one game at a time and just give everything that we got, and may God bless us where we can win every game. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Iqbal. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.